Hi guys. Okay, I'm back. So now we're going to start on page one. And for page one, you are going to need to cut a piece of paper that is 8.5 by 5.25. Okay, you are going to score in the middle part at 4.25 here. You are going to need two magnets. You're going to need a magnet here on this little booklet. Okay, so here is page one. Okay, and so your little magnet's going to go here. And then you're going to need a piece that is 6 by 9.25. And you're going to score a 1/2 inch on your right hand side. Okay. And this is going to be here. So this booklet is going to be this is going to be here. Sorry. Can't get my words out right. And the book is going to go here. So we will flip open the book. Okay, so you can actually stick some pictures in here. You will flip your book open like this, and then you can flip this open, and then in here we're going to decorate it with some paper and such. This right here needs a little tabby part, so I'm going to stick a little tab on there. And so again, you'll just need a 1-inch tab, and we'll just score it right down the middle. So just a 1-inch tab. So I'm going to go ahead and make that now because I forgot to do it earlier. So we just need a 1-inch tab, and I just want to make sure that this is on there straight. Okay, and then I just need to score it. Okay, so you score it at 1/2 inch, fold it over just like this, and then you're going to cut it 5.25 inches. So basically you could just stick that on there. So I'm just going to grab some glue, and I'm just going to put it right on the edge of my paper right here. Okay, I'm going to stick this down to it. Hold on one second. I'm trying to figure out how do I want this again? Okay, like this. So you want the opened part on that side there, because you need to have, when we open it like this, and then have it flip open or flip back. Okay, just going to go ahead and put that down just like that. Make sure it's burnished in real good, and then clip that off and save that because we may need it. And then we're going to attach this part right here, okay, to your page. All right, so this part right here will be to your page. Okay, like that, and you'll flip it open. Okay, like this. This will all be covered, so you won't need to worry about that. Okay, and then this will flip open, and then you already have your insert in there, so your insert should just pull up just like this. Okay, so we will also be doing some papering on this as well. Okay, and then you can, and we're going to also do some tabs on here. So okay, and I think that is about it for that page. You're going to turn this page over. Again, this is page one. You're going to turn it over. Okay, and on this side you're going to need two pieces that are 5 by 9.25. Score at a 1/2 inch on your right side, and then you're going to score a 1/2 inch on the left one. Okay, and these, I think, I'm trying to think how I was going to do. Oh, these are going to go like this. Okay, so we are going to put these like this, so when they flip open, They will flip open like this. All right, like that. And then here is a little pocket, okay? And this little pocket's going to go right down here in the corner here, okay? So you'll have a pocket there. And then we'll decorate this with some chipboards and some other things here, okay, in the front. And I might add some things to this, like some picture mats and stuff. So, okay. And your little pocket for this little side pocket here, this actually going to cut a square that is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, you're going to cut at 1 1/4 inch. So you're going to have a 1 1/4 inch right here. You're going to cut a diagonal, and then you're going to leave about 1 inch right here. Okay, and then you're going to score a 1/8 here, here, and here. Okay, so that's how you're going to do that. And then you're going to just trim off the little edges to make a little pocket. All right, so I will show you how to do that. Okay, so you can have 2 if you want to, or you can have 1. So, and I'll probably just use the other pocket since we're going to make another one. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut a 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 square. So it's paper. Okay. So here you're going to cut a 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 square. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and score mine first, and then we'll finish cutting it, because it's easier if you have your score lines and then you cut it, then you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So your 1/8 is right here. So you're just going to score right here on that side, turn it, score 1/8, turn it, score 1/8. Okay, and then you're done scoring. Okay. All right. So next you're going to get your ruler. Okay, and you're going to go ahead, and what I did was I folded in my where I scored. Okay. And then what I did was I went ahead and measured in where my 1 1/4 is, so right there, and I just marked it with a line with a pencil, and then I went down here and marked my 1 inch line. Okay, so my 1 inch line is right here. Okay, and then you can grab your cutter and you can line up those little dots that you did, or little marks, just like that. Okay, so there is your pocket, and then you're just going to go ahead and cut those off there. You can cut this off here, okay, and you can go ahead and cut those little ends off where they crisscross, and there is your little pocket. Okay, and if you have any pencil lines showing, you can always erase them, so no problem. So there is your little pocket. So we'll probably put this on the front as well. So now we have 2 pockets. So there you go. All right, so then that is page 1, and pretty simple and easy. And I will be cutting out my papers, and I will also be using the rhubarb stock Memento ink to ink my papers around that. And then once we get this done, then we can go ahead and we can put that in our book, and then we'll decorate it after we get done. And I need to take down the autofocus here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my papers, and then I will be right back. Okay, guys, so now we're going to start cutting out our pages and everything, and or cutting out our papers to mat on our pages. And the one thing that I wanted to say was to make sure when you're putting your pages or you're matting your papers on top of your pages, make sure you have that little fold, okay, for your insert on your right hand side. You want to make sure that this part had the left hand side has nothing on there. I took my insert out, okay, because we do need to paper these, all right. So when after you get done putting everything on here, then you can put your insert back inside, okay. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I cut out some items for the little book. I couldn't help it. And these are just the cut apart cards. And I thought these would be super cute because I'm going to go ahead and take my X-Acto knife and kind of like just cut around this area here and slide a picture in. Okay, so that's from one of the cut aparts. That's super cute. This, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this heart shape out. I'm going to leave a little bit of this holly right here. Okay, and stick a picture in there, so that'll be a frame. This, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this Santa Claus out, and we're going to have this as a frame. And this is another cut apart card, and I'm going to cut the star out, and that's going to be a frame. Okay, so I thought those would be like really super cute in here. And I have 4, but I only need 3, so I'm deciding which ones I want. And then the Dear Santa I'm going to stick on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put another, probably one of these on here at the bottom or something like that, because it has the Santa Clauses on it. And I thought that was so super cute. And then we'll decorate this with some of the ephemera and or some wood pieces. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and glue on or adhere on all of our little flaps and booklets and things like that. Okay, the other thing I wanted to tell you before we do that part is when you cut out your paper, go ahead and before you start cutting out, decide how big of a border you want. Okay, do you want do you want the whole item, whole page covered with the paper? Do you want to leave a 1/8 border? Do you want to leave a 1/4 inch border? Decide how big of a border you want before you cut your paper out. For me, I like leaving a tiny border. So like this right here is probably like what, a 1/16 of an inch. I don't know. It's pretty small border. But I went ahead and our page measures about 9 1/4. 9 1/4. Okay, and I cut this at 9 1/8. So that is what I cut my paper at. So I cut it at 9 1/8 by 9 1/8. Okay, so it will sit like this. If you decide to leave a larger border, you will need to cut down this page that is 6 by 9 1/4. And the reason why I tell you that is because otherwise, when you cover this, this will be on here like this. You will see your seam. Okay, so to hide your seam, you want to make sure that your paper is long enough to cover that. Okay, so they won't be able to see the little seams on there. Okay, so if if it's just for you and you don't mind, then you can leave it on there. But some people, I don't know, I might go ahead and cut mine just a tiny bit shorter to 9 1/8. So I was thinking about doing that. on that piece there. So, so right now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and attach this part here. Okay, so let me grab my glue. Okay, and I'm just going to put some glue right down here. And you can use your tape if you want to. I'm just using this glue because I like this glue. Kind of really, like I said before, it's a little bit different. But I kind of like it because it really sticks good for one. Okay, it does give you a little bit more time to maneuver your item if you need to. Okay, so kind of like that. Whereas the glitter glue, you know, it doesn't, there's no leeway there. But this really does dry pretty good too. So like it's already on there. So here I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to cut this down to 9 1/8. Okay, real quick. And really it's only like a little sliver about this big, you guys. So really it's not that big. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue right here. And I'm just going to butt this up against the edge of my book here. And I'm going to just try to kind of put it in the middle part of the book. So I'm going to fold it over real quick. Make sure that it's on at the edge there. Burnish that in really good. All right, so there we go. So there's that part. And let's see, oh, I forgot to remove my tape. Oh, I guess I don't need to remove my tape. I don't know. Let's remove. There we go. Oh, I wonder if it's, let's see here. Maybe I need to move my magnet. Hold on. So I had stuck my magnet on here prior, but I can remove it and see where it needs to go. So I can remove this tape right here. Okay. Go ahead and drop it down. Put some glue on the back of that. Just like that. Go ahead and press my paper down a little bit. And it should stick. Well, maybe not. Maybe it will stick in just a bit. Maybe it needs to dry. It's not coming out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some glue around it here. Just like that. Okay. And I'm just going to let that sit and dry for a second. So, okay, so then there is our page. Okay, so then you can turn it over and you can go ahead and we can do the other part here. So here we're going to go ahead and just fold these down. Okay, and these are going to go like this. So this is going to go like that here. So we can go ahead and glue this on. Just putting a little bit of glue right on my edges here. Okay. And again, I'm just matching them up at the end of my paper. Just like that, okay? And so that will be like that, okay? And you will have a little bit of a gap there. That's okay. Don't worry about that. So here we're going to have a little pocket here, okay? So right here on this side, all right? And we don't want to lay these pockets down yet, okay? And then, okay? So, and we need to cut the papers for these, okay? So, for our first page, we're going to go ahead and cut the papers, and we're going to go ahead and put those up here, turn this back over, okay? And our magnet should have stuck now, so yay! So, okay. So, for my first page here, this is going to go like this. So, it's going to be right here, just like that, okay? And I am going to go ahead and cut out the rest of my papers. So I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and cut the papers out. Hey guys, okay, so went ahead and cut all my papers for page number 1. And went ahead and inked all of my papers. And then I went ahead and also cut some white cardstock and inked it. And you will need, for this spot right here, okay, we're going to use white cardstock, and you're going to need one that is about 3 3/4 by 9 1/8. Or no, I'm sorry, I take that back. Not 8 7/8. So 8 7/8 by 3 3/4. And then I went ahead and rounded my corners, and I think that's what I might do throughout the book. I even rounded the little corners right here on my little page. And then you're going to pick another piece of paper to go over this, okay? And this is going to be at 2 7/8 by this is 9 1/8, okay? So I don't know if this is a little bit bigger than this. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than the other one, but that's okay. So so that's what we're going to do here. I might go ahead and cut that down. I kind of like it over though. So if you want to even with your white sheet of paper at 8 7/8, you can leave it at that size. And then I have mine that is, the white is 8 7/8, and then this is 9 1/4. Okay. So, or no, I'm 9 1/8. 9 1/8. Okay. So for this page here, okay, this little booklet that I thought would be like super cute to put photos in, I picked out again 3 little cards that will be inside. Okay, and so for this one, I'm going to put right here, and I will be putting like a little bit of border on that. And to get the little tiny borders, what I did was I took the borders from the paper. You know how you have these little borders up here, and we usually cut these off and throw them out. That's what I'm using for my border parts, okay, to cover up these little areas, or this area here, okay. So I will be using those right in through here, okay. And then same thing here. I'll be using these here. So this will go behind here. This will go like that. And of course I'm going to cut it down. and then this will go here, and then I'll have another little border here. Okay, and so that's kind of, I thought that would be kind of neat to use those extra pieces, and then that way, you know, you don't have to throw those away. So, and they come with all of the little um, patterns on them. So like if I wanted to, I could just use this pattern right here for this half, and then use the other one that is like that. So, oh, right here, down here. So I could, that way it matches. So anyway, I thought that would be a good idea to do that. So, and I wanted to go ahead and show you how I'm going to cut the, if you want to, you could just go ahead and cut your star out. I'm going to go ahead and do mine on camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then same thing with this Dear Santa one. I thought it would be super cute to use that collage paper, this one that has like all the Santas on it, and I thought we had already cut that out from this sheet here, so I thought I would cut out some of the Santas from here and then just collage them around the Dear Santa, and then a couple of the little kids, like this little kid, this one here, and then like maybe this Santa and the Santa and the sleigh, and just a couple of different collages, kind of like how they did it on the paper. I thought that would be like really cute right here. So that's what I plan to do here. And again, cut out this heart part. The pockets for the back. Okay, so this will go here. We did some flips right here on the back side of this page. Okay, so for those pockets, which are right here, okay, I'm going to show you how to cut those out real quick. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on that. So I'm going to use this little deer one. What you're going to do is you're going to fold in all your tabs on your pockets. Okay, you're going to go ahead and set it down evenly with the edges on that. Okay, and you're just going to get your pencil and you're going to trace. So I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to trace my lines. Okay, just like this. Okay, and I'm going to cut that part out. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my cutter. Now you can cut this by hand or you can cut this on your cutting board, however you feel comfortable. All right, I'm just going to cut it like that. All right, and then I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here. And I'm actually cutting on the other side of that line that I drew. Okay, then it's going to be even with that paper, right? Or with your, but you want a border. So what you're going to do is you're going to stick this on here like this, and you're going to form a little border on there however you want. Okay, so you're going to turn it back over, and you can do this one of two ways. Let me explain this. You can either glue this down like this, like you want, okay, and or you can just turn it over once you get your border where you want it. Okay, and you can also trim off a little bit more on here. So if you wanted to, you could trim just a tad more. Okay, that will help you form a border just like that. And then you can turn this over hold it in place, and you can draw another line, and you're going to cut above that line. So right here, there's your little line right there where you drew, and then I cut over on that to the left hand side of that. Okay, so that should have my border for that. If it doesn't, then you can keep cutting until you get the border how you want it. Okay, so now I know I need to cut a little bit more of that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut about another a 1/4 inch on this side, or an 1/8 inch on this side, and an 1/8 inch on this side. Okay. So I'm going to set this down flat and cut it about about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, just like that. I'm going to set this down. Hold on 1 second. Make sure that that's even. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off. Okay, so that should be great. So there we go. So there I go. So there's my so just cut off until I formed my border, about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then once you get this how you want this, okay, to do this one, you're just going to turn this over, go on your other square, okay, and go ahead and draw your image on here. Okay, so like I know I want this, so I'm just drawing this, I'm just copying it right on here, and this is where I'm going to cut my paper for my other pocket, just like that. So there we go. So just like that, and I just need to cut it down a little bit on this side here, right here, and a little bit on this side here. Okay. So, all right. So there we go. So that's how you're going to make your pockets, okay? And then, but for right now, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to go glue on all of our pieces. And like I said before, I have all my pieces cut, and I have them all inked up. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward and put these down. And if there's any changes or anything, then I will go ahead and let you know. Okay, so here, this is where, if you noticed, I only put glue on the outside perimeter of around the little mat here, and that's because we're going to go ahead and get our X-Acto knife, and we are going to cut out this little area here. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and bend that back, the little book, so I only have this little part showing, okay? And we're going to cut around that Santa and around the holly down here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just really, and you're probably going to have to cut a little bit deep, okay? Not too deep, but a little bit. Going through the paper, okay, yet. Yet. And you want to go ahead, and once you cut your paper, like I started here on the Santa, okay, and I'm just kind of making another cut, and I'm bringing my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to scooch in just a bit for you guys, and I'm just bringing my X-Acto knife around, okay, and just kind of cutting or kind of edging my X-Acto knife where I have already cut into the image, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and try to go around this leaf here, okay. So if you have to turn your book page around, go ahead and do that the best way you can. I meant to cut this before we put it in there, and I totally forgot. So you can cut your image with your X-Acto knife before you put it down onto your little book. So it does lift up. You just got to get your little X-Acto knife underneath your image, like I said, and just kind of, you know, kind of saw it back and forth underneath where you cut, and that should break it free, okay? But this will be really super cute to put a picture in, I think. And so I thought that having something like that would be super, super cute on the Santa if I wanted to. So I could go up and through here a little bit more. Once you get your picture or you decide which photo you're going to put in here, you can go ahead and gauge where you also want more cuts at. So if you wanted more cuts, let's say, all in through, like up in here or in here, down here, you could do that. So you could gauge where you want your cuts once you have your picture. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut right in through here. And my cuts are not perfect, okay? So don't worry if they're not perfect. Mine are not. So, let's see, and I just... And I may not need all of that cut. I don't know yet. You know, it just depends on what picture I figure I get. But here is, let's see if I can find a little, here's a little, so my picture could fit, you know, and this is not my picture that I'm going to use, but my picture will fit right in here, just like this. Okay, and I can actually cut more of that down if I wanted to. So if I wanted to, oh, my little razor blade came off. I gotta tighten that up. There we go. Okay, it's tight now. So my little picture will fit right underneath that little Santa, just like that. My words are upside down. Just like that. So, like I said, it just depends on how you cut your picture, or, you know, whatever size picture you want, and it will close just like that. Okay, so there's that part. So the next part is these right here, these two picture that we're gonna cut out, the heart and the star. So these two photo mats, and I'm not sure, I was gonna cut this one out. I thought this one would be like super cute too, but I think I want the heart and the star in here, and we'll save this one for later. So okay, so the heart and the star will go here, and for these I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to go get my X-Acto knife. I'm going to cut these out, you know, before I put them down in the book. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and start with my star and just follow the line of my star. Now, if you want to and you don't want to save your star, you can just go ahead and puncture it in the middle and cut it out. But I think I want to save this star so I can use it in another part of the book. So I thought I would just go ahead and use my X-Acto knife to cut it out. So there, just like that. Okay, and that way, like I said, I can use this star in another part of the book if I wanted to. And I am cutting off that little message right here, and but we have ephemera that we can cover, words that we can cover that up with, and we also have a stamp that we can use. So okay, so there you go. So there is our star. And of course, you know, like I have little pieces here I can clean up. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the heart. Okay, so with this heart, I'm just going to go ahead and start here and then just kind of go around. And if I have to, I can go ahead and I can clean it up after I'm done cutting it out. Is I am going to get my scissors. Since this part is cut out, I'm going to cut around this leaf here. Okay. And I'm going to cut around the button because I'm going to leave part of that leaf in there, I think. And just like that. Okay, so that way it kind of looks like it belonged there. I think it looks really cool. So there we go, and then there's our heart, and we can use part of this heart in another area. So, and all we have to do is just clean it up a bit, and we can use it in another area. So we're going to put those off to the side, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and clean up my heart real quick. Hi guys, I'm back. So went ahead and cut out the star. We went ahead and did the star and the heart. And to have this turn into a frame, we are just going to go ahead and put some score tape on the back of these, okay? And then tape it down. And we will leave one side of this open. So probably be this side here. We will leave the score tape attached. Okay, we will not take the score tape off of that. So you can slide your pictures in, okay? And you can either use your score tape or you can use your glue. I usually use the score tape. It's just easier for me, and then that way when I put my picture in there, I just grab my score tape and then tear it off. So, and then we went ahead and cut this piece a little bit further in. And what I did is, I'll go ahead and zoom in for a second, okay? I just went ahead and took my X-Acto knife and I went up a little bit more into his hat area so I could slide my picture behind him, okay? And so that way I just have more area to slip my picture in. And if I wanted to, I could even take it back further behind his head. But I'm going to leave it, I think, right there for now. And my picture will just slide in underneath the leaves and Santa. So just like that. So I'm going to leave that there. And right now we'll just go ahead and put these on. And then I went ahead and cut out a few of these from that sheet that has all the Santa collages on it. And I just cut out a few pieces that I thought would work on here to make my own little collage. So, and then I went ahead and used my little distressing tool and distressed the edges and then inked the edges on those, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down just like this in the middle, okay? And again, I'm just using the new glue that's over at JSN Hobbies. It is called Ultra Bond. It's the iCraft Ultra Bond adhesive, and it is pretty awesome, you guys. And really like it. So I'm having really good turnout with this glue. So it does, it dries clear, and it does dry fast. However, it does give you a little bit more time to slide your paper around if you need to, you know, to kind of just you know, make sure that you have it even the way where you want your paper to lay and stuff. So it gives you a little bit of drying time. So we're going to turn these over, stick some tape on these real quick. And I'm just using my 1/4 inch tape on these. And then here what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put some tape on here. Okay, but I'm using half of my tape on there. So I'm actually going to lift up on that. So I'm leaving about this much off. Okay, and I'm going to cut that. There you go. And I'm actually going to cut that part off. And use that on the other side. Okay. Just like that. So now you've got 2 little pieces here. Okay. And then you've got your pieces here. So when you put this in here, you are going to leave this side on. Okay, you're going to go ahead and take off this side. Okay, and now I can go ahead and put my picture in there if I wanted. So it's just going to slip right underneath there, just like that. You may have to lift this part up here to get your picture in, but your picture will fit in there just like that. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. Alrighty, so I'm going to finish putting my tape on here and then I will be right back.